Hi everyone, thanks for coming back for part 4. There's just a couple more that I want to go over here at the end, and then I'll be done with this video. And I had just done the one over here that was in the book of Acts 26, and I'm going to go over this one that's in Solomon's 8, and this one reads at the top, Natan, New Jerusalem, Heaven, Vision, Orth, May. And the reason I put orth in there is because I actually put either orth or ortho and the word may in every single one of these, and it came up in every single one. So I just wanted, that's why that's in there. I just wanted to see if it would come up. That was just something I tried. But and I realize those are small words, so I'm not putting too much stock in anything happening tomorrow. It may just be there as a sign, as a countdown, or it may just be random since they're small words. I really don't know why they come up in all of them. But you see May over here in the yellow, and it's like running into the word or the abbreviated word orth over here. But that's not really that important. And then over here you have new in the pink, and Jerusalem's here is in the lavender. Vision is over here in the blue, and heaven is in the bluish purple. And then you have Natan in ELS form right here. The letters N, A, T, A, N. And like I said, this was coming up in Solomon's 8:8 through Isaiah 1:2, and I'm not going to read the matrix in this, but I'll just scroll through it. And the next one, the matrix, is interesting in that one, so I will read that one, and that's the last one that's coming up in Ezekiel 8. And this one reads at the top, Natan, New Jerusalem, Heaven, Vision, Ortho, May. And like I said, that was just an experiment, those two last words. But over here you have the word May in the yellow, and it's running through the word Jerusalem, the letters M-A-Y. And you see new over here in the pink in ELS form, and you see Jerusalem in the lavender, and you see Vision over here in the light blue, and over here in the light green you see the word ortho, which is the first part of orthodox, and over here in the light red you see the word Natan that's coming up in ELS form with the letters N, A, T, A, N. And in this one it is interesting, the matrix where Natan comes up. So I'm going to go ahead and read this real quick. It's in Ezekiel 8 verses 3 through 6. And it says, And he put forth the form of a hand, and took me by a lock of my head, and the Spirit lifted me up between earth and heaven, and brought me in the visions of God to Jerusalem, to the door of the gate of the inner court, that looketh toward the north, where was the seat of the image of jealousy, which provoketh to jealousy. And behold, the glory of the God of Israel was there, according to the appearance that I saw in the plain. Then said he unto me, Son of man, lift up thine eyes now the way toward the north. So I lifted up mine eyes the way toward the north, and behold, northward of the gate of the altar, this image of jealousy in the entry. And he said unto me, Son of man, seest thou what they do, even the great abominations that the house of Israel do commit here, that I should go far off from my sanctuary? But thou shalt again see yet other great abominations. And as we know from, I believe it's Matthew 24, the Great Tribulation begins with the abomination of desolation. and with the abominations that are mentioned in Daniel 9:27. So I'll just pull those up real quick. Okay, here in Daniel 9:27 it says, "And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, and in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and oblation to cease." That's already been fulfilled. "And for the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate." And this is the second half of the week that was cut off in the midst, when the Messiah was cut off. And so everything begins again with the abomination of desolation. And you can see where Jesus talks about that in Matthew 24, I believe. Over here you see where Jesus says, "When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house, neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be." So Jesus is telling us that it begins with the abomination of desolation, and that is when they are to flee to the mountains. So when you look at the word flee, you see that there's another time that's mentioned in the scriptures about fleeing to the mountains. It's actually, let me just put in the word flee in mountains so I can get it to come up. But you see that it comes up in Luke 21. It says, "And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies," this is what Natan saw in his vision, "then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled." And then you also see in the Old Testament, which is a parallel of these two verses in the Old Testament, that once Israel is surrounded, that's when they flee to the mountains, because this is what it's talking about here in Zechariah 14. It says, "For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle. The city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city." And again, this is what Natan saw in his vision, and the rest of it with the Mount of Olives. And he basically saw everything that's mentioned here in Zechariah 14 in his vision. So I just thought I would point out those scriptures. And as you can see, this is where Natan comes up in ELS form with the words New Jerusalem. It came up in this matrix where it's talking about what I had just read here in Ezekiel 8. So again, I think all of these codes clearly, in my mind, they clearly show the divine hand of God in these tables. All these occurrences cannot be random by chance or coincidence. It clearly shows the divine hand of God and his providence over his word. So I just thought I would share all these tables that are related to Natan and to Easter. I don't know if anything's going to happen tomorrow, which is Easter Sunday, the Eastern Orthodox Easter. I don't know if anything's going to happen tomorrow, but as always, we need to stay in prayer. We need to be attentive, watchful, alert, and be prepared to meet the Lord at any moment. We don't know the day or the hour. We just know it's going to be soon. And thank you all for watching this video, and God bless you all. Thanks.